I had some time to take a break from my list videos, and as you guys know, I listened to Eminem's album exactly 24 hours ago from this point, and I gotta say, when I listened to it on stream, it was disappointing, but I expected that. I think it saves trouble for me and you for doing a video, because a lot of you guys always want me to do Eminem videos, but then wonder after you get 2,000 dislikes on a video, why do you want me to do it in the first place if we all knew, you know, the expectation, or, you know, my expectation on it, or what I was already going to say anyway. I just think that this is how, first of all, the album was bad. Alright, Deluxe was bad. The original was bad. Murder Should Be Music By was just not that great. It's only 2 tracks I still like from the get-go. Stepdad is one of the worst tracks I've heard in a long time. It is my worst lyrics. But the Young M.A. track is pretty fire that I really like from the original. With that being said, the Deluxe, man, I just think that I've said it in the last 3 albums that he's done. From Revival to Murder Should Be Music By, I just feel like he's out of touch. Like, that's honestly how I feel about it. I think a lot of people brought great points last night, and you guys were speaking on things, because I asked you a question, and I compared him to Andre 3000, someone who is glorified, someone who is loved, someone who just got motherfucking hated on by a Young Thug, but didn't acknowledge it at all, because that's not the type of person that Andre 3000 is, and as much as a GOAT he is, same thing with Eminem, there's nothing that he really needs to prove. And kind of responding to stuff, you know, petty stuff like that isn't really going to do anything for him. I think the problem is a lot of people that are Eminem stans, at least, I brought this up, a lot of people that are Eminem stans, they like to think that it's okay for Eminem to rap the way he's rapping. He's just having fun. That was a lot of things that people were saying. Another thing people were saying, he's talking about fucking bitches, he's talking about drugs, he's talking about the haters, but that's what artists nowadays do too, like Future and Uzi and, you know, the Cardis and Lil Yachty's and every other trap artist that are talking about their haters. I think that's the one issue right there. You're comparing Eminem to Lil Uzi Vert, Future, and all of the rest of the mediocre compared to Eminem, career-wise. You know, it's not even career-wise, just from a talent standpoint. Very 2 different artists. You know, these are all different artists, but you're comparing the GOAT, one of the all-time greats, one of the greats of rap, one of the most technical, you know, has crazy flow, crazy delivery, one of the best battle rappers, lyricists ever in the game, to Future. That should never be a thing. That's like comparing LeBron James to motherfucking LeBron James to Tony Snell. Like, that's not even a competition. So, unfortunately, what you guys are not understanding is when it comes to Eminem, there's a bar. There's an expectation that is expected from someone who is in the top 10 range, alright? People expect greatness. There is no room for fun. I apologize for you guys that don't understand that, but there is no room for fun. There is no funny shenanigans. There is no ha 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 he he. You gotta bring it every single day. When LeBron James drops 21, the world, the media, they are on his ass. If Eminem decides to drop some mediocre, we are on his ass, because the expectation for him is supposed to be great. That is what he's been doing all his career. That's what's expected of him. I don't get why people think that he needs a break. He does not need a break. If LeBron James doesn't get a break, if Michael Jordan doesn't get a break, if Kendrick Lamar doesn't get a break, if Drake doesn't get a break, then what makes you think that Eminem is going to get a break? Jay-Z don't get a break. Look, Nas doesn't get a break. No one gets a break. That's at the top. So for all the people that are trying to come up with excuses like Eminem doesn't do this and do that, I don't understand where you guys are coming from. Another thing I want to bring up is the fact that Eminem, I did get a little bit wrong, because I said that, this is my thing. When it comes to Eminem, and I got a question to ask you, what race do you think listens to Eminem predominantly? And somebody got mad at me all because I was talking about integrity, and I was talking about liking Eminem, black reactors. That was a topic in the thing. We all know who likes Eminem, who blasts Eminem. There's a couple reactors that literally have not said how, that has not said in the last 3 years that Eminem has a bad track. If they like it, they like it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It's kind of crazy that they like every single thing. Because I tell you, money and integrity, it meets at a certain point. My thing is like, why, like, when you think of the race that listens to Eminem, not that that's relevant or anything, maybe it is, maybe it's not, depending on how you look at it. Everybody can, with their lives, can answer that question. Now, somebody in the chat thought that I was simply saying that, oh, no black people listen to Eminem, because that's what you guys like to do. You like to hear one thing, and then you go, like, because you didn't even finish the statement. I just said that some people, yes, that aren't this people, listen to rap. A lot of black people ain't listening to Eminem. A lot of black people ain't listening to Eminem post-revival. And I would put my life on that. Yes, I know that's very ignorant maybe to say, or maybe that's very general to say, or maybe I don't know the answer, but I'm just saying I would put my money on that. You know, predominantly we know who is listening to Eminem. Not saying that's a bad thing or anything, but the reason I brought that up is because I brought that up talking about culture. I felt like someone who Eminem, as much as he did work with Samaj and as much as he did work with, Corday, I think, remember he did work with Corday. I thought that was pretty cool. But think about where the state of rap is right now. And my thing is, why is Eminem throwing shade still at the Lil Uzis and at the Futures and all these other, like, new age trap artists? He's throwing shade at them when you should be like the OG, kind of the stance that, you know, the J. Cole's, and kind of the stances that the Kendrick Lamar's, or the stances that, Andre 3000, that's in the same class as you, handle. You know, you're a part of the culture. This black culture, this black community, they have created you. I always say, man, when you are a white rapper, it's like being a black man in America. You know, not to that extent, but you know what I mean. You know, the comparison I was talking about. I say that, why not be with the culture? Again, I was wrong. He did work with what? Murder. It was Murder or something. I forgot who the producer was. But now, why not work with, like, the Metro Boomins? Why not work with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Wheezies. Why not work with something that's, you know, diving into culture of what it is right now? Because you are supposed to be the OG. You know, you were brought into this culture. A lot of people don't like to bring the whole race thing and bring up, but Sean C said it perfectly in his tweet the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, of course, when you from the outside in, you would sit there and say, nah, it's not a black and white thing. Yes, to an extent, I agree with some of you guys. But at the same time, it is a black and white thing. Gotta understand that you are coming into a black world. All right, that's what it is. The rap is founded by black people. So when you understand the culture and you understand the community about it, I felt like that's kind of just like a give back. My thing is too with Eminem, what I'm getting at is the fact that he's out of touch. Why is he trying to prove everybody wrong? There's nothing that he needs to do to prove to anybody. In my eyes, he is a top 10 artist, right? In my eyes. Now, he's slowly losing that top 10 for me because I feel like he's just putting a lot of bullshit out, and when there's a lot of hate in your heart, when there's a lot of resentment in your heart, it shows. Eminem is 50 years old. He's talking about fucking bitches in the asses, taking your mom. I think the Key skit was the craziest. That had to be the craziest skit I've ever heard in my life. The most trash skit I've ever heard in my life. I just don't understand what was going on and why he thought that was cool. My thing is, Eminem was always good. Slim Shady was everybody that everybody loved because it was this eccentric artist who just didn't give a fuck about what people thought and did his own thing, right? And he said Slim Shady was gone. And then now Slim Shady was there, but I thought Slim Shady was gone, but he's back, but he's versus Slim. Like, no, I thought you just said that persona was dead. But that's the persona everybody wants. The one thing that Eminem needs to do is stop trying to please everybody. Because in 2020, that is not going to happen. You are literally not going to please everyone. I'm sorry. And if you're trying to be loved by everybody, it's an impossible task. It's literally an impossible task. Because some people will hate on you for the slightest, and some people will love on you for the slightest. Alright? So you gotta understand that a lot of people are looking to give you praise and looking to glorify you. And I think that, I don't know, I'm assuming this, right? I'm assuming this. I'm not going to say this for sure, but I'm assuming that he's looking for that satisfaction. And, so, you know, Eminem, somebody said, Eminem has never been, somebody said in his chat last night, Eminem has never been somebody that's worried about the media. Eminem has never been somebody that needs the gratification from the masses. He's never been that type of person. But also, his life is literally created around his community that has now kind of betrayed him, if you think, right? The community used to glorify Eminem and say he was the best and untouchable. He was a god. And now they have kind of turned their backs on Eminem, right? Everybody, and it is true, you can say, as much as people love Eminem, there is definitely more Eminem haters than there were in the past. And that is a fact. I will put fact checks on that shit. Someone fact check me there. There is definitely a lot of people that has grown to, you know, turn the other way towards Eminem's godliness. And I think it's kind of had an effect on Eminem. It shows in his music. He's always talking about the resentment. He's always talking about the people that are hating on him. He's always talking about the new age rap that are trash. I just feel like the content that he's bringing up is something that he shouldn't be talking about, nor does he have to talk about. He has the status of a GOAT. He is literally one of the greatest. I don't understand how someone who is as great as him, it almost sounds like, motherfucker, do you have a ghostwriter? Did someone make those tracks? I know somebody said it last night that he said that beats don't matter. Beats don't do shit. I still think that's so crazy when somebody says that. As much as lyricism, and I love lyricism, as much as I love my Lupe Fiasco, a lot of those Lupe Fiasco tracks wouldn't hit without fire-ass beats right behind them. You need a great production team behind you to get that flow, to bring out that art. It's kind of just like it's like making chicken, right? You got chicken. You are the flavor. You are, not the flavor. You are the chicken. You are the base meat. This is all you, right? But you gotta float, you gotta sprinkle a little season on it. Unless you don't like seasoned shit. And we all know who don't like seasoned shit, I'm just saying. But who put some season on you. That's the production. Season on your meat. Put a little gravy on it. Look at a little juice, get a little olive oil on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Put the production on it. That it all comes together. And what do you have after that? You have motherfucking seasoned chicken. That's what you have after. So all I gotta say is what Eminem is, man. You gotta find yourself, dog. Like, you honestly gotta find yourself. Stop acknowledging the haters. Because every time you acknowledge the haters, look, what you do before. What'd you do before in the past? If someone went hated on, what'd you do? You brushed that shit off and you brought the pain, the next motherfucking track, or the next album. Stop hating. Throwing shots at Snoop. I just don't understand. Why is there so much anger and so much resentment? Yeah, you can say, oh, if you were in the same shoes, that you feel the same way. But that's the crazy part. You got to separate yourself from that, man. You are an OG, dog. Like, it don't matter anymore. You are already stapled in hip-hop history. Why are you continuing to make this mediocre shit? Why are you continuing to talk about balls, hairs, and balls, and sticking your dick in MILFs' asses and shit? Like, why are you still on those topics? That's the question I got. And sometimes I really wish I could sit down and talk to Eminem and what's going through his mind. Now, I thought it was pretty cool for him to have Samaj on there. I thought that was, looking from the outside in. Me and Samaj used to be cool peeps. And we were, he started reacting to music after I started reacting to music. And we were kind of in the same community. And to see him now on an album with Eminem, I think that's pretty crazy. From reacting to Eminem to being a feature on Eminem. I thought that was pretty cool from Eminem to do. But, again, it doesn't change the fact that this is horrible. There's probably only 2 tracks on here that I enjoyed, and everything else was just a certified skip. I just don't understand why people are trying to defend it. And you could be a stan and cool and understand, but don't get mad when the majority and the masses, and when I say the masses, I'm not sitting there saying it's 99-1, but I mean, it's like a good 70-30, 65 to fucking goddamn 35. I would when I say the majority, I mean that. When they have a problem with your artist and they're giving, criticism or feedback that you may not necessarily agree with, don't get mad and take it personal. And somebody said I laughed about this because somebody said, oh, you should title this 30-year-old virgin listens to Eminem. I was like, that's a great one, because I don't like to talk about the pussy that I get, but I mean, let's not be fooled. I am a YouTuber, and I'm gonna tell you there's special perks that come with being a YouTuber, and I do get to skip some lines. And I'm not talking about actually lines, I'm just talking about hoes, alright? So I thought that was pretty funny. That's what I'm talking about, how mad you're not thinking rationally. Because if you were thinking rationally, you would know that I fuck mad bitches. Like, that's just, you know that. You know that at the bottom of your heart, like, you know that. I don't got this long hair, and, bitches don't want to pull this shit for nothing. I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm sorry, I had to get a little light flex on it, because that kind of, I was like, what? Like, what? I'd have been cool with that. Like, I would have been cool with, 30-year-old listens to Eminem and hates and old head. I'd have been cool with that. But you had to throw virgin, like, come on, man, bro. I was finger popping when you was still sucking on the titty, yeah, motherfucking too, bro. Come on now, don't let it get it fooled. Don't get it twisted, all right? I don't got this dimple for nothing, bro. Bitches do love me, man. Don't be fooled. And we're going to keep it like that, man. Get in the comments below, man. Let me know what you think about the state of Eminem. What do you think he should do? What do you think? How do you feel about it? And, yeah, man, I just wanted to keep it short. But I know I've been talking for 14 minutes. But I wanted to keep it short. I didn't want to do too much, hating. But it's not more of a hate. It's more of an acknowledgement. I called him the GOAT many times, and I understand that. But something needs to be done. And Eminem needs to take a look in the mirror. Because what he's doing, he says he doesn't care. So he continues to make what he's making. The people hate him, but he cares. So then when he cares, even though he says he doesn't care, it then goes into the music, and then it's a cycle. Because the music gets worse, progressively worse, and then we're all just like, this shit is even more trash. And he said, y'all need to stop fucking hating. I'm gonna make another music, and then that gets motherfucker. It's just a cycle of dumb stuff that keeps going in a circle. And that's just, I don't want to see somebody as great as Eminem, as great as Jordan, as great as LeBron, as great as Drake to go out like that. I'd rather just see them go out on top, and that's why I think that personally, he should just kind of just keep it at a feature run where Andre 3000 does, and just keep the allure instead of actually trying to prove yourself to a dead fish. It's kind of how I feel like, man. Get in the comments below, let me know what you think. Yeah, man, we had to get the list videos out, but I just had to take a break and kind of give my 2 piece and how I felt about that. And some of you stans kind of understand, man. When people don't like Eminem and they don't have their reasons, that's fine. I'm a Gunna stan at this point, right? But I don't care if people don't like Gunna. I like it. But at the same time, I'm not going to fight you because you think Gunna is boring. He sounds like a robot. Oh, that's another thing. Eminem sounds like a robot. Bro, I wanted to tell you so many times, his flow was very boring in a lot of those tracks where it sounded like I track and rappling, hitting you with a rappling, blabbling, and y'all gonna be sitting here and saying that he did that on purpose to make fun of the future rapper. No, he's really rapping like this because he's been rapping like this for the last 2 albums. So when he's rapping and rapping and rapping and sapping and fapping, he sounds like a robot. And you guys have a problem with robot sounds because there's a lot of people that hate Nav and a lot of people that hate Gunna. For the same exact reason. So I'm not trying to compare Gunna and I'm not trying to compare Eminem. But come on, man. Keep that same energy with everything you say. Don't be a hypocrite. So we're going to keep it like that, man. Get in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Get 3,000 likes. We can move on the wall. And until the next time, man. We are out. Peace.